रंगांमध्ये एक देश एक निवडणूक आयोगाचा आपण विचार करायला लागलेला आहे. हा रंग मात्र बहुरंगी नाहीये, तो बहुढंगी नाहीये, तर एकाच रंगामध्ये रंगवत नेत इथल्या असणाऱ्या बहुविविधतेला, ज्याला आपण माल्टिंग पॉट असं ज्याला आपण म्हणतो, या प्रकारच्या पद्धत रचनेला आपण नाकारत आहोत का? हा असणारा मुद्दा या असणाऱ्या अभ्यासांच्या दृष्टिकोनातून, विचारांच्या दृष्टिकोनातून, चर्चेच्या दृष्टिकोनातून आपण पुन्हा एकदा अवलोकित करू शकतो का? हा प्रश्न आपण समजून जर घेतला तर मला असं साधारणपणे वाटतं की एक देश एक निवडणूक प्रक्रियेची जी काही चर्चा आहे, त्या चर्चेचं असणारं भवितव्य म्हणा किंवा त्याची फलश्रुती म्हणा, त्या फलश्रुतीचा असणारा संदर्भ आपल्याला त्या दृष्टिकोनातून निर्माण करता येऊ शकेल. मी छोटस एक शेवटी उदाहरण देतो आणि त्याच्यामध्ये थांबतोय. अल्बानियामध्ये, अलीकडे अल्बानिया नावाच्या छोट्याशा देशामध्ये डैला नावाची एक एआय नावाची मंत्री नियुक्त करण्यात आली. आणि या डैला नावाच्या एआय मंत्र्याकडे काम देण्यात आलेलं आहे की भ्रष्टाचार करणारे जे महसूल विभागातले लोक असतील किंवा निविदा काढल्या जातात त्याच्यावर तिने लक्ष ठेवायचं आणि भ्रष्टाचार होणार नाही याच्यावर मात्र तिने आपलं असणारं सगळं लक्ष देऊन भ्रष्टाचार विमुक्त असणारं सरकार तयार करायचं. साधारणपणे मला वाटतं की अल्बानिया नावाच्या देशाची लोकसंख्या 40 की 42 लाख आहे. त्या देशातल्या भ्रष्टाचारावर नियंत्रण ठेवण्यासाठी एआयचा वापर केला जातोय. तर भारतामधल्या असणाऱ्या निवडणूक रचनांमध्ये निवडणूक घेत असताना अशा प्रकारच्या आर्टिफिशियल पद्धतीचा उद्या चालून जर वापर अधिक झाला, ज्याचा आपण पेगॅसिसच्या स्वरूपात आपण त्याचा विचार घेतलेला होता, तर मात्र ही आव्हानात्मक असणारी बाजू म्हणून आज आपण काय करू शकणार आहे, चर्चेमध्ये आणू शकतोय का? हा एक महत्वाचा बाब आहे. आणि मला शेवटी मुराकामीच्या दृष्टिकोनातून, हा राजेंद्र सर मी त्याचं समप करत आहे, समप करत असताना मी पुन्हा मुराकामीकडे येतो आणि मला त्याचं असणारं वाक्य या ठिकाणामध्ये कोट करताना म्हणायचं, तो असं म्हणाला, वन कॅन स्नेक shake the feeling that we are litigating the past partially because we are at a dead end when it comes to imagine the future. भविष्याबाबत आपण काहीच करू शकत नाही किंवा आपल्या हातात ते काहीच राहिलं नाही, हे जेव्हा आपल्याला कळून चुकतं त्याला सातत्याने आपण भूतकाळासोबतच चिवडाचिवडी करण्याचं काम करत असतो. आणि मला असं वाटतं की 1952 ते 1967 हा काही जो संदर्भ येतो तो भूतकाळाच्या चिवडाचिवडी सोबतचा जास्त अधिक प्रमाणामध्ये, तो भविष्य काळाच्या दृष्टिकोनातून नाही. आणि म्हणून त्या भविष्य काळाचं चिंतन जर आम्हाला करायचं असेल तर मला वाटतं की या नव्या असणाऱ्या मापदंडांमध्ये व्हावं, असं म्हणून मी माझ्या असणाऱ्या शब्दांना इथे विराम देतोय. मी आमचे सन्मित्र डॉक्टर राजेंद्र कोरडे सर, आमचे स्नेह आणि लोभ असणारे सन्माननीय प्राचार्य डॉक्टर एरणकर सर, टाले सर, हे या महाविद्यालयाचं असणारं एकूण व्यवस्थापन मंडळ अध्यक्ष, या सगळ्यांनी मला या ठिकाणामध्ये हायब्रिड मोडवर आमंत्रित केलं, ऑनलाईन मध्ये आमंत्रित केलं आणि माझ्या विचारांना मांडण्याची संधी दिली. मी आपणाप्रती पुनश्च एकदा आभार व्यक्त करतो आणि नमस्कार, प्रणाम आणि जय जगत. धन्यवाद.
थँक्यू सर. थँक्यू सर.
हो, थँक्स.
व्हेरी नाईस.
हॅलो, धन्यवाद सर. धन्यवाद. आवाज येतो का?
आवाजात डिस्टर्ब आहे.
Recording in progress.
धन्यवाद सर. सर आवाज येतो का?
सर आता येतोय, बोला ना सर.
आता आमचे मित्र संदीप दोंडवा सर आहे. एक राष्ट्र एक निवडणूक या विषयाला चांगल्या प्रकारचा न्याय दिलेला आहे. त्यांनी या विषयासंदर्भामध्ये डिटेल विवेचन त्या ठिकाणी आपल्या त्या ठिकाणी मांडलेलं आहे. अतिशय विस्तृतपणे त्यांनी त्या ठिकाणी भारताच्या निवडणूक संदर्भामध्ये माहिती आपल्यापर्यंत त्या ठिकाणी पोहोचवलेली आहे. यानंतर आपल्या या वेबिनारमध्ये पुढचे जे प्रमुख वक्ते आहेत डॉक्टर बेटकर सर. सरांचा विचार करण्यासाठी या सरांच्या या ठिकाणी परिचय करून देतो. डॉक्टर बेटकर सर हे अनेक वर्ष कुमारस्वामी महाविद्यालय औसा लातूर या ठिकाणी प्राचार्य म्हणून कार्यरत होते. ते आता त्या ठिकाणी रिटायर झालेले आहेत. सरांना रिसर्च सुपरवायझर म्हणून 34 वर्षाचा अनुभव आहे. सरांचे संपूर्ण भारतामध्ये 7 प्रकारचे पेटंट होल्डर आहेत. सर विशेष गोल्ड मेडल आहे. सरांना स्वामी रामानंद तीर्थ मराठवाडा विद्यापीठाने उत्कृष्ट अवॉर्ड दिला आहे. त्याचबरोबर ICL युनिव्हर्सिटी कोलकाता तर्फे त्यांना बेस्ट प्रिन्सिपल म्हणून त्या ठिकाणी अवॉर्ड मिळालेले आहे. केंद्र कोल्हापूरतर्फे सरांना त्यांना पुरस्कार मिळालेला आहे. सरांनी आता 1300 नॅशनल आणि इंटरनॅशनल कॉन्फरन्स केलेले आहे. सरांनी IPL वर आतापर्यंत 350 जवळपास डिलिव्हरी केलेल्या आहेत. इंटरनॅशनल ज्या कॉन्फरन्स त्या इंटरनॅशनल कॉन्फरन्स स्पीकर म्हणून सिंगापूर, हाँगकाँग, कॅनडा सरांचे 20 पुस्तके पब्लिश झालेले आहेत वेगवेगळ्या भागामध्ये. सरचं आशिया बँक रेकॉर्ड होल्डर म्हणून त्या ठिकाणी अतिशय महत्वाचं स्थान आहे. असे उत्कृष्ट तरी ते तरी त्यांना त्या ठिकाणी सर्व विषयाचा अनुभव आहे. ते आमच्या त्या ठिकाणी आचार्य हे त्या ठिकाणी या वेबिनारमध्ये मार्गदर्शन करण्यासाठी आलेले आहेत. मी बेटकर सर.
Thank you, sir. I am audible, I think. I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rajendra Korde, sir, for introducing me here. Satpura Education Society, Jalgaon, Jamud, Arts, Commerce College, Warvat, Bakal, District, Buldana. This is a state level level webinar on one nation, one election benefit and problems titled. This is organized by Department of Political Science. Please mute others. Please mute others. The chief organizer and chairman of this webinar, Principal Dr. Sriram Erankar sir, The inaugurator, please mute others. Inaugurator Dr. Vilas Talesar, who is Arts, Commerce, Science, Buldhana, member of Political Science Board of Studies, SGB Amravati University. Just who have delivered the talk, Dr. Sandeep Tundurwar sir, who is the professor and HOD. Please mute others. Who is professor and HOD of Political Science, Sri Benjani City College, Autonomous, Nagpur. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Thank you. As in the inaugural speech, Dr. Vilas Tale sir have given detailed information about this one nation, one election. At the same time, our principal sir also elaborated. Please mute others if possible. Who is host? Also, Honorable Principal Sir have given detail about this. And as a invited speaker, Dr. Sandeep Tundurwar sir, I read so many new things very effectively from him. And I am not the teacher of political science, but I am a voter and citizen. So, as like every citizen and voter, I should have to study this and can share the thought. It's also a good thing for me also. I'm not new for this college because before that I have also invited by this college on IPR, and this college is very active in organizing these webinars and other activities on their level. This topic, one nation, one election, benefits and problem, is the need of today. And this topic is as a state level webinar have organized from this college by this college. So I welcome the chairman and honorable secretary, honorable principal sir, honorable head of department and organizing team. The teachers, those who are joined here, and the researchers, those are joined here. Let us be start. Yes, this topic is elaborated by various resource persons, this resource person and all the authorities. But still, I want to highlight some points. Let us start what is election. Election is the formal process where the voters to choose their representative or decide on a specific topic. Means election is not used to have a member of parliament or other things, but they also can be voting can be done to have a representative or to decide the specific issue to discuss on a point of the nation. Also, it is the fundamental aspects of democracy, and it allows peoples to participate in the governance and shape their collective future. As I am a voter, so I have to choose at the time of voting which government I want because I want to secure my future. So that is the thing. And what are the key aspects of this? Three key aspects of their voting, representation, and accountability. In voting, citizens cast their vote, and representatives elected persons are the representative of us on the behalf of our voter. And accountability is what? The election representative accountable to their voter. What they have assured to the voter, they must have to try to fulfill. So, what is the current system in India? Current election system, voting system is the complex process, three-tier process. One Lok Sabha, the state assembly, and a local body election. In this three type of elections occurring in our country, this is three tier of elections process. Let us see the background. India adopted election after first independence means after 1947 for the practical and political reasons in at the beginning of the India as independence, and the idea of simultaneous election, which we calling as one nation one election, not new. It is discussed in 1950. From that time, this point is under consideration for the democracy of the India. Now, what is the importance of it? Let us see what is the importance: domestic participation, peaceful transfer of power, and accountability of the mechanism. Domestic participation means every citizen participates as a voter in the election. At the same time, it is the peaceful transfer of summation of power, means from one party to other party, or the party can be kept as it is depending upon the voter. And accountability of mechanism means election hold leaders accountable to the people. That is important in this democracy. Now, what are the current challenges? Frequent elections and administrative burdens. These are the two current challenges. What are the frequent elections? Means every time we are facing elections many times in the year, and this is leading to dispersions of the governance, and administrative burden is there. So election commission and India faces significant challenges in the managing across the country. Now, what are the proposed reform then? Because of this crisis and problems, the peoples and the governance is studying about the union cabinet have approved one nation one election bill, which is currently under consideration of the parliament. Because of this situation, because we are facing so much frequent elections, that is the problem. Now, what is the constitutional provisions? What are the constitutional provisions for one election one nation? It requires in the constitution due to existing provisions. There are no existing provisions because in existence India's constitution provides for separate terms and election cycle for the parliament and state assemblies. There is no provision today in the constitution to adopt, means to start the one nation and one election. So, what are the terms of Lok Sabha? Lok Sabha 5 years, State Assembly 5 years, and terms can be cut short by dissolution. Is government is dissolved, then we have to again face for the elections. Now, what are the constitutional challenges? In the view of the constitution, the challenges are early dissolution, disrupt of the union cycle of the government which is running, that is get dissolved, and so that there is a need to uniform tenure extension or reduction in the aligned terms. If we reduce some aligned terms, or we should perform a fixed tenure, this should be the constitutional challenge to have adopted. Now, what are the parliamentary committee recommendations? To solve this problem, the parliamentary committee is constituted, and it gives law commission of the India and election commission have studied this issue of frequent election, and they have suggested include the gradual synchronization and legal protection. Means within one night, within one day we can't adopt this, but gradually we can change this scenario, and there is need of the drafting of a committee by the parliament draft committee. Then, what are the political parties role? Means in any country there are so many parties, and what are the role of the parties to adopt the one nation one election? That is, political parties plays crucial role in shaping responding to this idea. If one government or one nation or one political party is responding to this, then other party can't respond such that they think about that. So the support of opposition impacts on the possibility. If it is possible or not possible, it depends upon the supporting party, those who are ruling or those who are existing in a particular country. Not are the what are the potential benefits of that? One nation one election has a potential benefit, but significant challenges. As our principal said that there are so many challenges, so there are significant challenges in front of us. And also important balance is efficiency with domestic principle. We have to balance the efficiency of this idea with our democratic principles. Now, what it offers? It offers economic, administrative benefits, and it requires broad agreements. We have to do agreements with the aligned parties and the stakeholders for the legal reforms, and careful planning there should be. What are the financial savings then? If we adopt one nation and one election, then it can be significant financial savings, and also efficient use of public resources which promotes better governance. If we use that public resources for efficiently, then the energy can be used for the better governance. Then what is the need? What is need of this plan one nation and one election? It can be acted as a catalyst for India's progress or any country progress. Means if we adopt one nation and one election, it definitely be the catalyst for the progress, and also there is need of collaboration between central and state government and the other parties. To have adopt this idea, one nation and one election, there should be collaboration between the state and central government. What are the federal structure? What is the federal structure? Political agreement is essential for the implementation. If we are implementing in any country or in India also, we have to take the consideration of the federal structure. The debate reflects India's complex political and federal structure. So implementation of this should be adopted with a debate and pros and cons, so that the federal structure can adopt or not adopt. This is the point of discussion. Now, what are the legal reforms of it? One nation, one election is a crucial mission for India for progress today and tomorrow. If we adopt one nation, one election, it definitely support to the progress of the India, and it requires collective effort from all political and legal reforms. There is collective effort should be done. Then what is stability matter? Stability matter is that it requires significant constitutional changes. We have to change some significant change in the constitutional articles, and then balancing stability with democratic flexibility. What the democratic principles are there, democratic, so that should be flexible and that should not be disturbed. Why nation one election? Why one nation and one election? Why this? Because this reduces the burden on the election commission and security forces, as we are knowing that election commission is acting to conduct this election, and there is so much burden on this. Also the same time, security forces we have to adopt in many part of the country, that is also burden. Also saves huge public money and spent on election. If we do one nation one election, then the expenditure on the public money can spend, that can be reduced. Also government can focus on the governance instead of the frequent elections. If we do our concentration of frequent election, then automatically there is diversion of our good governance for the country. And also reduces policy paralysis caused by the model code of conduct during the election. When model code of conduct gets adopted, then every progressive matters get stopped till that moment. So this reduces the policy paralysis in time the in the that model code of conduct. Then what are benefits? Economic saving, political stability, and voters turnout. These are the three benefits. Economical saving we have studied. Then administrative efficiency means less dispersion of the description of the government and administration. Also it gives a political stability to run the government for continuous 5 years. And voters turnout means the rate of participation of the voters in the voting process gets increased, because there is very bad thing is that most voters are not going to voting, so that we can't achieve 100% voting for in our average. So it is a less amount of the voters, those who are voting, so that can be increased. And what are the challenges? Political opposition and diverse regional, these are the challenge. Risk of national issues means local national issues can be raised through that if you adopt one nation and one election. Also constitutional and legal issues can arise, means there is a need to amend the articles 83, 172, 356 and others in the constitution, those who are supporting to the one nation and one election. Also states autonomy in the determining their election schedule. There is also legal issues can be raised on the states autonomy, because states are ruling maybe same party or different party. Also there is a challenge for managing assembly terms and expire the terms differently. Because of this we have not one election one nation, then the government can be dissolved in between. That's we have to solve. Current election expenses of the India is more than 7,000 crores. Last election the expenditure is 2019 more than 700 crores. So it is not bearable for a country which are developing country like India. And conduct elections simultaneously reduces. What happens if we adopt the idea of simultaneous elections, one nation one election? It's repeated use of security posts avoided, multiple mobilization of electronic machinery, election machinery can be avoided. Also the reduced expenses. So these three are the major benefits for conducting the simultaneous elections at the time. Now what are the additional financial benefits? Additional benefits means the benefits which can save the money through the expenditure in the election, and also model code of conduct which enforces the restricts the government expenditure during polls. This can be avoided. What is the impact of frequent elections on national progress? Means every 6 months, every 1 year, if we are facing elections, then there is the restriction of the government because of the model code of conduct. Then the policy paralysis. Said at the same time, public resources can be diverted towards the other points where we can't need. That money can be used for the other growth of our activity or the activity. Again, support to the national progress. It's support to the national progress with a stable government and also economical growth we can achieve. At the same time, it policy continued, then government can implement policies without interruption from the election cycles. If there is no interruption, we can continue a policy. Administrative efficiency can be increased. And why political parties supporting? Suppose one party is adopting or having an idea of one nation, one election, then other parties can think the points. They are reducing election expenses during ensure policy stability and establishing forces to the government rather than the elections. Means every party want to do saving. Every party do not want to expenditure the money many times on the elections. So that can be avoided. And also the example is that BJP have shown support that for the economic saving and administrative efficiency. Why political party opposes? Then why political party opposes to this? Many regional and state parties opposes because they are fearing about the dilution of regional issues among their national campaigns. Also, smaller party fear that they can be overshadowed by the larger national parties. At the same time, their autonomy goes into vanish. As example, the parties like DMK, TMC have voiced reservation about against of these political as a political parties, one nation and one election. What are the challenges for these political parties then? The balancing is the challenge. Means if you adopt one nation one election, there should be balance. Also, managing early dissolutions. We can manage early dissolution assemblies, and also addressing corners of the voters confusion and large ballots. Means if there are 2 3 ballot papers or major ballot paper in our hand, then voters gets confused. We can avoid this, or we can avoid by using this one nation or one nation. Let us see political stability and voter engagement in this time. If there is a simultaneous elections, then we can reduce the political instability can be reduced, because the voters, those who have thought to do the voting to the state government, they may do the same voting to the national government. So this can be adopted, or this may possible through one nation and one election. Also, potential increase of voters turnout, the percentage of voting can be increased. Also, enhance independent participation through focused campaigns. They can participate, they can publish their agenda independently. At the same time, economic savings, stable government, and less frequent model code of conduct enforcement in among us. Also, we can focus development rather than the elections. Means government can focus on the things where we cannot develop yet, so that can be amount that can be used, that budget can be used for other. What is the risk? There is the risk of centralization. There is risk of smaller region parties fear for overshaded. Also, they concur that national issues will dominate the over regional concurrence. Means those who are the regional parties, they said that they can think that we lose our identity because of this one nation and one election. That is the fear. What is the mission for today, and why not? Frequent election also, it is a strain of us for administrative and security reasons. Economic cost is high. At the same time, government disadvantage due to model code of conduct enforcement. Also, growing demand for the political stability and policy community. We adopt every citizen voter expecting the stable government, and they do not want to lose the any government in between this tenure. The what is the objective of the mission? To reduce election expenditure, ensure continuous government, and strengthen the democratic process. democratic process, and higher voter participation improve administration efficiency. Also, the mission, what is the mission for future? To establish a system synchronize the national and state elections. Second, foster political stability with consistent policy and implementation. If we adopt this policy, then consistent policy implement can be implemented. Also, enhance over voters engagement with st- streamlined election, means voters percentage can be increased. Also, they promote cooperative federalism through constitutional reform. These are the missions for the ahead. What is the roadmap then? Roadmap for the next, we have to build agreement across the parties and states. If one party is adopting and one party is opposing, then we have to do a roadmap, one agreement between all the parties to accept this one. Second, to amend constitutional provisions for term synchronization. Also, to develop legal frameworks to manage early dissolution, and also strengthen election commission's capacity for mega elections. If they are organizing mega election, if they are conducting mega election, then strength that can be supported as a roadmap. At the same time, benefits for today and future: financial savings, stable government, reduce election troubles, and stronger democracy with unified electoral process. Also, what to be overcome? Constitutional amendments require board support, addressing concerns of the federalism and regional autonomy, managing early assembly dissolution without losing synchronization, and educating voters and the stakeholders about the change. We have to educate all the voters and stakeholders. What is the role of stakeholders then? Who are the stakeholders? Political parties, election commission, citizens, and the government. These four are the stakeholders. Then this role of the, what are the role of this? What is the political parties role? Cooperation between this election commission, efficient management, citizens, awareness and participation in the election process, and government legal administrative reforms. These are the role of the stakeholders. Now, what are the future challenges? Future challenges is that the mode of conduct, the model code of conduct enforcement leads to administrative paralysis. So we can, this is the challenge. Huge financial burden is the challenge. Security forces useful, these are the challenge. Also, government distracted from government work during the election. The total progressive policy gets stopped during the election. And what are the pros of the election? Economic saving, reduced cost saving, multiple election, savings on security, administrative efficiency, less burden on election, and government community. These are the pros. Also, what are the successful examples of this? Successful example is that the fewer election means lower chance of election related violence. Means we see that, always we see that when there is a environment of election, then violence can be increased in certain areas in the surrounding, so that can be reduced. And the example is that USA, it holds the example successfully one election, one nation simultaneously, is the example of the world. Now, uh, relocation of saving means the funds which are we are saving, they can be used on another useful things, where healthcare, education, infrastructure, all can be developed with these funds. And the social welfare schemes can be adopted more powerfully to help the poor in any type by using this budget. And also greater focus on the government rather than the election, to have a better force on the governance rather than the election, we can adopt this. So this is the simultaneous elections may increase voter turnout, so that is not good for one. Then unified election process promotes national integration also. If one time we conduct the election, then that can support for the national integration. And I am thankful to the organizer and honorable principal sir and Rajendra Korde sir for inviting me and sharing my thoughts on this. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice, sir. Thank you. Very nice, sir. Betkar,
Very
sir.
nice. तर
Thank-
आपण
Thank you, sir.
अतिशय विस्तृत विवेचन या ठिकाणी केलेलं आहे. त्याबद्दल आपलं सातवा शिक्षण संस्था कला व वाणिज्य महाविद्यालयातर्फे या ठिकाणी आम्ही पुरुष एकदा आपलं या ठिकाणी स्वागत करतो. धन्यवाद सर. आम्ही तुम्ही आमच्या विनंतीला मान देऊन या ठिकाणी म्हणजे तुमचा विषय नसतानाही जे पीपीटीच्या माध्यमातून जे विस्तृत मार्गदर्शन केलेलं आहे त्याबद्दल पुनश्च एकदा महाजच्या प्रचारातर्फे तत्व शिक्षण संस्थेतर्फे पुनश्च एकदा आपला आभार मानतो. त्यानंतर या वेबिनारचा शेवटचा जो कार्यक्रम आहे तो म्हणजे आभार प्रदर्शन. माझे सहाय्यक प्राध्यापिका मनीषा धर्मे मी हिला आभार प्रदर्शनाकरता आमंत्रित करतो. मनीषा धर्मे.
धन्यवाद सर. धन्यवाद सर. आजचा आपला राष्ट्रीय वेबिनार हा निश्चितच लोकशाही निवडणुकीमध्ये चांगल्या प्रकारे अधिक चांगल्या प्रकारे जागरूकता आणि लोकांच्या विषयी जागरूकता दृष्टी देईल. या वेबिनारचे यशस्वी आयोजनामागे आमच्या महाविद्यालयाचे आदरणीय प्राचार्य डॉक्टर श्रीराम वेरंकर सर यांच्या सतत मार्गदर्शनातून आणि प्रोत्साहनातून आम्ही या प्रेरणेतून राज्यशास्त्र विभागामध्ये राष्ट्रीय वेबिनार या कार्यक्रमाचे आयोजन यशस्वीरित्या पार पाडले आहे. या निमित्ताने मी राज्यशास्त्र विभागातील सर्व सहकाऱ्यांचे तसेच तांत्रिक समितीचे व विद्यार्थी वर्गाचे विशेष आभार मानत आहे. पुनश्च एकदा शुभप्रसंगी मी राष्ट्रीय वेबिनारचे अध्यक्ष महाविद्यालयाचे प्राचार्य डॉक्टर श्रीराम वेरंकर सर यांचे आभार मानते. तसेच उद्घाटक डॉक्टर विलास टावे सर यांचे आभार मानते. प्रमुख वक्ते डॉक्टर एम बेटकर सर यांचे आभार मानते आणि त्यानंतर दुसरे प्रमुख वक्ते प्राध्यापक संदीप तुंडुरवार सर यांचे आभार मानते. या सर्वांचे मी राज्यशास्त्र विभागामार्फत आभार मानते आणि वेबिनारच्या यशस्वीतेसाठी शुभेच्छा व्यक्त करते व अध्यक्ष यांच्या वतीने हा कार्यक्रम इथेच संपला अशी जाहीर करते. धन्यवाद सर.
धन्यवाद सर. सर्व पार्टिसिपेंटचे पुनश्च एकदा अभिनंदन, आभार मानतो. धन्यवाद.
सर पंढरवाड सर, बेटकर सर, धन्यवाद.
और कैमरा ओपन सर. टेकन ए पिक्चर. हेलो हेलो.
ये जो सोनू कुमार है वो सर पत्रकार है, बिहार से है. उनको पब्लिसिटी के लिए हम सबका फोटो होना हो सके तो एक स्क्रीनशॉट सर को लेने की परमिशन दे दो.
बहुत अच्छा कार्यक्रम बेतकर सर आज का. और मैं बिहार से हूँ और बिहार में चुनाव का बयान भी है, तो इस बीच में आज का जो कार्यक्रम था काफी इंफॉर्मेटिव था. वो आपके फेसबुक, आपके यूट्यूब चैनल पे लाइव कार्यक्रम चल रहे थे, मैंने वहां भी सुना नेटवर्क इश्यूज के कारण. और ये कार्यक्रम बेहद ही अपने आप में महत्वपूर्ण है, खासकर हमारे लिए भी इसलिए भी रहा क्योंकि मैंने बताया कि मेरे बिहार में इलेक्शन का दौर चल रहा है और इस बीच में हमको भी अगर ये जो जानकारी मिला प्रेजेंटेशन के माध्यम से, शायद आज का जो शाम में जो डीएम सर के साथ एक कार्यक्रम है, शायद मैं कुछ बात यहाँ से का भी रख सकूंगा. धन्यवाद सर.
धन्यवाद सोनू कुमार.
धन्यवाद सोनू कुमार जी.